get some work going. Okay. Oh, it's so much more tedious since I can't have my live chat. I don't know what's going on with OBS, man. Okay, well, let me just adjust my controls set up real quick. Can't hear the fan, can you? No, you can't. That background noise elimination is doing really good. Don't want that to have any function whatsoever. And I want that to be my start button. Okay, okay. And okay. Yep. Well done. Howdy doody doody do, folks. I know no one's here yet, but I'm going to keep talking and acting like people are here because, of course, we are back for some more super lovely Professor Oak's challenge. Let me see. Here's this. If I'm not mistaken. Right. Okay. Piece of cake. Piece o' cake. Yes, welcome back, welcome back. Today we are going to be wrapping up all of our Professor Oak challenge captures that we need to get before, before facing the Koga gym fight, which is always going to be fun. I'm going to stick this on super speed while we go for our little escape here. I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to go to the Lavender Town side of the Dark Cave. Simply because of the fact... Oh. Didn't want to fight you. Well, Sketty, you know what to do. But yeah, we're going to be wrapping up our captures for the Dark Cave, which I believe is the Onyx line, the Rhyhorn line... Well, just Onyx, really. The Rhyhorn line and the Machop line. We are also going to be getting our encounters for the... what's it called? The Safari Zone. Thankfully, we already got Pinsir, which means we only need to get our hands on Tauros and Chansey. Because we also already got Execute as well, and got that to Executor. Let me just check my bag. How am I looking on balls? I'm looking great on balls. Let me just see. Is there any way... Yeah, just those. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna, head into the Dark Cave. Again, fighting Pokemon trainers that I didn't intend to fight. I wanted to save you, I suppose. Can't do that now. Actually, before we go in there, let me just check the PC. I don't remember exactly. It's been a week since, you know, the last stream, and it's been a hectic one at that. Okay, yeah, so we're looking good on that front. I mentioned this in the previous stream, but I started working with my father-in-law doing his pool business, so we were working on pools the last 2 days, and that is always a hell of a time. Is this max brightness? That's weird. Yeah, so we were working on pools. We filled in the liner, not the liner. We filled in a bunch of cement at the bottom of a pool, very specifically a pool use cement called vermiculite, which gets everywhere. Gotta look out for vermiculite boogers now, which is always fun. But we filled in that because the pool was like 50 years old, and so whatever was going on in the bottom of that thing was just shit. And then today, we installed a lining of foam along the wall and then put the liner in. Now, mind you, this is like a 9-foot deep pool that's like massively wide across. We had 4 of us. It was so much. We are going to name this Machop Toaster. Because, and this has been the case for my entire life, I have always thought that Machop's head looks like that of a toaster. Okay, we're now looking for Onyx and Rhyhorn. Let me just double check here. I know they're both in here. Onyx is just listed as Dark Cave. Rhyhorn. Oh, Rhyhorn's the Safari Zone. Okay. So we're just gonna find Onyx in here, and then get the hell out of Dodge. Once we get Onyx, Onyx is Chivo points, which is always good. Get our hardcore points for the level. Gotta make our site level higher. Which actually, let me check what my site level is. Do I have another? I do have 2 retro achievement tabs open. With 3,248, we're in the top 21.90%, which I think is really cool. Hang tight for a second. I need to get some aloe, actually. I got burnt to shit yesterday. That sun was brutal. Yeah, just a tiny, teensy-weensy little bit of aloe vera after sun lotion to go on the burns, because otherwise this shit is... Oh, Jesus Christ. This shit's gonna sting. It's also incredibly runny, and it just sprayed fucking all over the place. Oh, boy. Wish my fiance was home to help rub it on my back, because I can't reach that. Hi-yi-yi-yi-yi. Okay. Much, much better. Now my back isn't going to burn anymore. But, yes. We got Cave Diving Sage Scribe before GTA 6. We did get Cave Diving Sage Scribe before GTA 6. And we're probably also going to get the Professor Oak Challenge Mastery before GTA 6, which is always nice. We're just looking for Onyx right now. And I'm bitching and moaning about the fact that my fucking back stings because I sunburnt the shit out of it yesterday. Boy, was that not fun. Onyx, do me a favor. Stay in the ball. Wowee. But yeah, let me tell you, working on pools, very, very, very difficult job to do. Very physically intensive, and my entire body hurt yesterday. There's cave habitat. Awesome, awesome. I love to see it. We are going to name you Noodle. I feel like I already have a Pokemon named Noodle, but you're Noodle. You've always been Noodle. Truth is, you've always been Noodle. We're gonna move Toaster up to the front. And see? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And Pidgeotto. Sketty, you do your thing. Thankfully, we have what? We've caught 2 so far. So that's 2 out of the 9. We also have to get our hands on Rhyhorn so we can evolve into Rhydon. And then we need to evolve Machop into Machoke. We need Doduo to get Dodrio. Noodle is Noodle. Thank you, Yuji. You're so right for that. What a legend. Skinny legend got me quaking. We want to go... Yeah, we want to go east. This brings us to Celadon. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Doduo route, but let me just double check my chart here, because I also have a Google Doc, not a Google Doc, a Dougal? Jesus Christ. A Google Sheets thing open, so I can keep track of where all the encounters are located. Yeah, this is Route 16, right? Yeah. That tree should not have grown back that fast. You do only speak the truth. I appreciate your truthfulness, Yuji. Welcome to Truth Social. Where... RA's doing good. RA is doing good today. We are... You know, we're chilling in the grind zone right now. I haven't done anything this past week, since Friday's stream with the Mario, educational games. Just because I've been kind of chilling, doing my own thing. I got my fiance to start playing Fortnite, which is hilarious. She actually really likes it, which I was not expecting to happen at all. But she enjoys Fortnite quite a bit, so now I have another person to play with. You're Tutu. But yeah, I got her to play it, and all it took was me telling her that one of her favorite anime characters of all time is represented as a skin in Fortnite. That's all she needed. Literally, all it took for her to be like, yep, sign me up, I'm good, I'm in, let's do it. Which, for context, one of her favorite anime characters of all time, in this instance, is Katsuki Bakugo from My Hero Academia. Because she already knew that there was the Deku skin in that game, she did not know about the Bakugo skin. The second I said ba, literally, I didn't even have to finish saying it. I was like, oh yeah, there's Bakugo in the game, but I said ba, she turned her head so fast, I could feel it. I wasn't even looking at her when she said it. Or when she did it, but I knew. I knew. Okay, so, let me just... double check again. We're going back to the RA page. We're looking at Pokemon LeafGreen. We got the Doduo. We got the Onix. We got the Evolution. Capture. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 evos to get. And the only 3 captures that we have left to get are inside the Safari Zone, which is going to be a hell of a time. Katsuki Bakugo. He's one of the... Oh my god. Full screen, we're here. He is one of the deuteragonists of My Hero Academia, the very popular anime where everyone has a superpower. Because, you know, of course. Rhyhorn is in this grass. Right? Hang on. Let me pull up the Safari Zone encounter. But he is a very hot-headed type of kid who has explosion powers. Which is always neat. Let's see. Yeah, Area 1, I can get Rhyhorn at a 20%. And then I'm going to want to go to... Area 3 for Chansey. And Area 4 for Tauros. They got Electrode to play. Oh, man. Your comment is being obscured by the little heart icon in the chat. And there's the Rhyhorn. Boom. Love it. This lovely lady is going to be named Charge! Got to play a role in there. Yes. Very explosive temperament. Area 1 West Center. Okay, don't do that. I get so used to mashing through the text that I forget that there's no Pokemon that gets thrown out at the beginning of these fights. We are now in trainer tips. This is actually where I caught Chansey in my main playthrough of this game. When I did the RA set for base LeafGreen. We're just going to stand in one place. This is the fun trick about this, is when you do that, you don't use up any of your steps in the Safari Zone. If you just spin around in a circle. Rhyhorn learns Charge? Gee, they give out moves like candy today. Yeah, you know, Rhyhorn, actually, did you know Rhyhorn has a secret Alolan form that is also an electric type, like Geodude? Yeah. You can only encounter it 0.0000001% of the time. And only when you hold your 3DS upside down and put it underwater. Yep. That's how you get it. Try it out yourself. Legit. It's a real thing. I guarantee it. Yeah. Totally not a lie. A fabrication that will cause your DS to explode. Stop throwing ball! But yeah, I got her into Fortnite for that. And then I mentioned this briefly last week as well. She also got me to start playing Animal Crossing with her again, which has been a real blast. I genuinely love playing that game when I have the right people to play it with. So it's fun to get back into it. It's very chill, very mellow. It's a nice kind of relaxing game to play when you kind of just want to relax and chill. Obviously, I just said those words over and over again. But yeah. I'm having a good time. Although, I'm having a rough time in that because I refuse to accept any new islanders into my island until I get Scoot, who is my absolute favorite Animal Crossing character. And unless I get Scoot, I'm not accepting anyone else. I've gone to 2 deserted islands so far, found 2 people, left them there. Stranded. They're never coming. They're never coming. No. Give me Scoot or give me death. And I'm so incredibly tempted to use Nookazon just so I can get someone to give me Scoot for either a price or just for free. Because that's a website, Nookazon, someone made, or I guess maybe a group of people made, that basically functions as a buying and selling market for Animal Crossing players, where you can exchange your friend codes and visit each other's islands for other villagers, or you can get specific items, you can get turnip prices that are really good, stuff like that. Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch, very specifically. I should make sure I reiterate there. It's the one that I personally own. I do have direct access to the original Animal Crossing on the GameCube. And I say original on the GameCube because technically, if we're talking about Japan, the original Animal Crossing was on the Nintendo 64 before we got it. But yes, I have Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Switch. I got it on launch. I mean, a lot of people did. You know, the very beginning of everyone's favorite widespread global issue that I'm still kind of afraid to say the direct name of on YouTube in accordance with the fact that people used to get demonetized for it. So I'm going to take a page out of the Game Grumps book and just call it the Backstreet Boys Reunion Tour. But yeah, during the very beginning of the Backstreet Boys Reunion Tour, back in May of 2020, where we were at, you know, a lot of people were playing Animal Crossing. It was a good time for a game that kind of gives you stuff to do as the days go on. And, you know, it helped that I got to stay inside instead of, you know, potentially risking getting my hands on tickets for the Backstreet Boys Reunion Tour. Which I would not want to get, especially because then I might be able to accidentally give those tickets to my family, who then would also now have tickets to the Backstreet Boys Reunion Tour. And, you know, people were not surviving the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. So I was like, I'm not going to chance it. So, you know, we all stayed inside and we all played our Animal Crossing. I am in Area 3, right? No, I'm in Area 2. Motherfuck. I really grinded Chansey in one of the worst possible areas when I first played this, huh? Look at me be stupid. Give me a sign that tells me where I am, please and thank you. Oy, oy, oy. But yeah, Animal Crossing's fun to get back into, and then, aside from playing Fortnite, which I have been grinding the absolute shit out of, because they just dropped the Darth Jar Jar skin in the shop, and you need to grind levels to get that, which, I mean, for me, totally worth it. Darth Jar Jar has been one of my favorite, one of my favorite memes to come out of the Star Wars fandom in a long time. You know, Jar Jar being a Sith Lord will never not be a funny concept to me because it's fucking Jar Jar Binks. So, you know, that's always a good time. So I got that. Pincer. Nidoran mail. The Quick Claw is always good to get our hands on. Unfortunately, I doubt we're going to get any really clutch Quick Claw strats like we did when we played Mario Mon last week. That Quick Claw was so clutch. I don't know if anyone saw that. Also, Sweet Finished Galaxy, I also want to replay it, but I'm waiting for Wii support. Yeah, you know, I was feeling nostalgic, and I was waiting for something to download on my Switch. I think I was actually waiting for... What was I waiting for? I don't remember what I was waiting for, now that I think about it. I am actually just gonna retire out of this one and go a different direction. But yes, you know, I was feeling a little nostalgic, and I was downloading something, so I couldn't play anything that required Wi-Fi services. So I decided there that I was like, okay, I instead of, you know, that, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play something that doesn't require that. So I took out one of the actual physical game cartridges that I have, which is not many, and I got my hands on playing Galaxy again. Is such a peak combo. And no, it absolutely is a peak combo. I would do that for the Battle Tower in the regular LeafGreen playthrough. I hate that I can't tell which area I'm supposed to be in right now. We're in Area 3 Center. Okay. So then I can do this and hope we find a Chansey here. And the reason we're specifically looking for this area is that everywhere else, Chansey is a 1% encounter. Chansey is a 4% encounter in this grass. So, still incredibly minuscule, but much better than that little 1%. I hate that. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed playing through Mario Galaxy again. All I have left are the purple comet stars, which I'm gonna have to look into a strategy for one of them, because you have a minute to get 100 coins in, like, a small open space, and I am not looking forward to trying to do that. I'm gonna want to watch a video tutorial and see, like, the kind of strategy that people put in place for it, because I'm just ever too slightly lazy to brute force my way through that. You know, I get a little impatient, and I'd rather not trial and error something that's that quick and precise. So, you know, I'll figure that out later. Oops, it's all Sonic Boom. Listen, all I'm saying is, once 3DS support comes out, we're playing the Sonic Boom game that came out on the 3DS. Obviously, I know Citra is gone, basically, but, you know, I can still emulate it, so that's good. That could be fun. Down the line, obviously. I also think I want to start doing some of the LEGO games at some point. I'm very nostalgic for, like, the old LEGO Star Wars 1 and 2. They were the ones that I grew up on, but I never had the GBA titles, so I'd be willing to give those a shot, and then also check out the very, very incredibly clunky DS port for LEGO Star Wars 2, which I know was basically broken upon release, and even after its re-release is still kind of fucking jank. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be something. Either that, or I play the PSP version, which is just the console version, but small. That might require a better graphics unit for my computer, which I simply don't have the space for. Unless I can get an external GPU, which would probably be really expensive to run. I mean, hypothetically, I could convince my brother-in-law to let me use his computer, because he has, like, a full gaming computer with a really nice, decent GPU in there. But I don't always feel good using other people's stuff to do the things that I am capable of doing on my own, even if I necessarily can't do them in the exact specificity that I want to. You know, it's his personal property. I'd hate to impose. I can't use any internet feature on my Switch and mainly play offline games. Yeah, I've noticed that you haven't been showing up online lately, UG. I guess, you are no longer in ownership of the Nintendo Switch Online service, is my best guess. Oh, found the Tauros. Let's bait it. Aw, you bitch. Yeah, this is going to be the most exciting gameplay loop. We're just going to be standing here walking around in a spot. Ha-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. Very funny that I found the 1% before I found the 4%. But I'm not too miffed by that. Right, I'm in. Which area 3 am I? No, this is area 4, but it told me it was area 3, so that sign lied. Oh, no, Tauros is the 4% here, so we have to go back. Yeah, I was in the right area before. That's some baloney. That's a whole load of Bologna. I've been doing Nuzlocke lately. Yeah, you've been very fond of Nuzlocke ever since I got you into those a few years back, now that I'm thinking about it. Nuzlocke are always fun. I definitely haven't thought about doing a Nuzlocke in quite some time. But it could be fun. If I ever decide to do non-RA related content on the channel, I might pivot to having like a Nuzlocke or two. See if I can do Nuzlocke streams on some ROM hacks. Mario Mon Nuzlocke could be really fun. Though I understand... the Luigi battle for the champion, or sorry, rather, Mr. L, is pretty rough. Did not mean to do that. Alright, I'm going to keep doing this until I find the next Tauros. The timer just went off for my laundry, so I am going to get up and do that once I encounter the Tauros. Not when I capture the Tauros, because obviously capturing a Tauros and encountering a Tauros are two very different things. Knowing full well that I have RNG to deal with. Which, Professor Oak Challenge, the bane of any one of these is the Safari Zone. You know, it's not getting your starter to fully evolve before the first gym. It's not getting Dragonite up to level 55. No, it is absolutely dealing with the Safari Zone, because you have to find the Pokemon, and even then it's RNG if you catch it to the highest degree. Bug type was the hardest. What game did you do the bug type in? Again, was that a Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet? Okay. Let's see. Give me one moment. Sword. Yes. Need a towel. Alright, I'll be back in a sec, folks. Fear not, loyal sage scribers, for I have returned. Plug my phone back in. Alright. Throw a rock at this bull. I hate you. Ooh. That is definitely a snap from my loving fiance, my darling sweet. Check that in 1 second. I replied. Sorry about that. Once you reach a certain age, you know, you gotta make sure that you're making time for your spouse or significant other. Obviously. Now, I totally forgot to check this earlier. I wanted to see if I was going to be a jackass if I talked about it again or not. That was on the 2nd. So I definitely mentioned it. I was gonna see if I had already talked about watching the Thunderbolts movie or not. There's Tauros. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. This is Red Bull. Okay. So now we're done here. And we do, in fact, want to grind out Chansey right here. I was correct the first time. Chansey can actually even appear in the grass where that Tauros was. There's a nice Tauros in your PC. There is a very nice Tauros in my PC. It might be a little aggravated because I threw a rock at its face. But, you know, it's chilling right now. Now, my main fear is this Chansey, because Chansey, I know, is absolutely bugged to shit with its encounter issues and how it reacts to bait and rocks in the Safari Zone, which I have not been looking forward to. But thankfully, you know, once we get this Chansey, we will have at least caught every possible capture encounter up to this point. To which we will then just need to get the 3 evos that we have in front of us, which are obviously getting Machop to Machoke, getting Rhyhorn to Rhydon, and then getting Doduo to Dodrio. And since we have a really reliable grinding spot up on Cycling Road, that shouldn't be too much of a problem, thanks to the VS Seeker. And I'm just mostly excited to get our hands on Surf, because then that gives us access to a handful of new encounters through the Seafoam Islands and then the water routes leading up to Cinnabar. Then I believe, we do the Pokemon Mansion quest, get into the Cinnabar Gym, and then we talk to Bill, who gives us the Sevi Island Pass. We get Ponyta and Rapidash after Blaine. Once we get Ponyta and Rapidash, we fight Erica. Erica lets us use Strength outside of battle. We go back to the Seafoam Islands and get Articuno. Then we go back to the Sevi Islands, go up to the upper area, get Magmar and Moltres. Once we get Surf, actually, we are going to the... what the fuck is it called? Oh, okay. Fuck you. We're going to the power plant. That's what I'm doing when I get Surf. I am not, in fact, going on the water routes to Cinnabar just yet. We want to get the power plant completely done and out of the way before anything else. I am going to look into the encounters that I already have in my box, because I might bring a Pokemon that can sleep. Just so I can get a better status. Because paralysis is the only status I have right now. I'm just going to chuck it. Yep. Big mistake. I think I want to throw bait at Chansey, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we want to do the power plant because we got to get Zapdos. Dude, Dragon type theme of name is all Alcy Young. Player who won that award. I could not say I know which award you are speaking of in particular. I might like sport, but I also don't like sports as much as you do. I know that much, my good Yuji. You and I definitely enjoy sports to different degrees. So I do not know who you are talking about. I didn't want to throw bait at you. But you know what? This conversation... Oh, stop. This conversation was missed earlier. Stop it! Why did I hit that? Fuck you! Venomoth is eating. Venomoth do be eating. I was talking about this at the very beginning of stream, but I don't think anybody had gotten into stream yet. Working on pools is a very hard job. It feels kind of fulfilling, especially because I'm basically getting a full body workout while I do it. But let me tell you, pool work is not easy work. You gotta be full of stamina and inner strength in order to keep pushing through the beating down heat of standing inside a swimming pool without any water in it, as you are replacing the cement bottom of the pool. Holy crap. It is a very tiring process. Thankfully, it wasn't as bad today. Yesterday was the hard one. We replaced the entire cement flooring of the pool with a new covering of vermiculite cement, which is quick drying and gets everywhere. And mind you, this is a 9-foot deep pool that I think is a good, like, 30 feet across. Not 30 feet across. Oh! Oh, that was the fastest I've ever got a Chansey. Yes, bitch. This is Egu. Cool. We can get the hell out of here now. We never have to step foot in the Safari Zone ever again. And I love that. Alright, Raticate, do your thing. Okay. We're gonna do a little shuffling. Gonna take you, and we're gonna move you. Beautiful. Noodles staying in the box forever. I'm gonna destroy the whole Blissey bloodline now. Okay. Let's fucking go, as Mario would say. Hello? Bikers sitting at the top of this route, I've come to challenge thee. Hey, guys. Who's ready to get their shit rocked? Oh, why did I do that? I'm a genius. Can you tell? Can you tell that I'm a smart human who uses brain good? What's it called? I am so let me shift topics so I have something to talk about. I am so excited for the Fantastic Four to come out next month. Oh my god. I absolutely need that movie like now. I'm a big fan of the Fantastic Four from the comics. While personally I am not the biggest fan of the casting choice for Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, even though I love that man to death. Probably one of my favorite actors in Hollywood right now. I still think that I would have rather had it not John Krasinski, like a lot of people seem to think is the best choice. I wanted, what's his name? It's like William Harper. That looks fantastic. Say that again. No, William Jackson Harper. He is a astonishingly good actor. He actually already made an appearance in the MCU before the Fantastic Four even got announced, but he was like my #1 fan cast for the character. William Jackson Harper was also the man that played Chidi Anagonye in the show The Good Place, which, by the way, for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's probably one of my favorite comedy shows of the last couple years. And it's basically, the whole premise is, the main character, Eleanor Shellstrop, she wakes up in a waiting room, and she is in the good place, which is, it's basically like where people go when they die, and it is the final resting place in the afterlife for people who did good in life. She gets shown around by the head of the neighborhood, Michael. He helps her meet her neighbors, and then he introduces her to Chidi, who was designated to be her soulmate. Because everyone has a soulmate in the afterlife, and you meet them when you're there. Did I do good life? I'd like to think I did a good enough life, personally. But the whole twist with the show is that we find out that Eleanor is in fact not who Michael thinks. And it's like, oh yeah, like we bring all the good people here, and you did such good work with your law work, helping the disenfranchised, and we really loved what you did in your missions to foreign nations to help with like disaster relief in Haiti and stuff like that. And it's like, oh yeah, what a wonderful person. And then we get just her and Chidi alone finally, and she's like, hey, I need to make a confession. I am not the same Eleanor that is supposed to be here. I am actually in the wrong place. And so the whole plot of the show is that, like, at first she's trying to maneuver around the fact that she is in fact not supposed to be in heaven at all. She was supposed to go to the bad place. And so there's a lot of, like, the hang-ups there. We also find out that Chidi was a professor of ethics, and he decides to help teach her how to be a good person, so that while, yes, she wasn't supposed to come to the good place, hopefully her spirit can be redeemed in the good place and prove that she does, in fact, deserve to be there in the end. It's a really good show. It's really funny. It can be really touching. And there's a surprising amount of twists about it that I feel like I could not ever spoil to someone who I'm recommending the show to. Like, you need to watch this show for yourself. It's only 4 seasons long. They're all on Netflix, at least in the US. And if you don't have access to Netflix, you just do a little yar har fiddle dee dee, go on the 7 seas and enjoy some piracy. Because, let's be honest, these corporations don't need more money if we can help it. So, yeah. Thoughts on the new Superman coming out? That is another movie that I am very much looking forward to. Superman First Steps, or First Flight, I can't remember what the name is off the dome. I've always been a fan of Superman growing up. He's not my favorite DC character because that's The Flash. Either Barry Allen or Wally West, whichever one. I like them both. But I'm a fan of Superman. I've always liked Superman, and I've been in a very disappointed state within the last decade because I enjoyed Man of Steel when it came out, and then I learned more and more about Superman as a character, and I realized that I didn't really appreciate the vision that Zack Snyder had for the character, because it simply wasn't Superman. It was more so an allegory for Jesus Christ, which, admittedly, I can understand the comparison point, super powerful beings that are seemingly godlike in nature, but truly benevolent and there for the people of the world, not just one specific group. And then, in the end, I feel like he focused too much on the Jesus part of things and not enough on the fact that Superman isn't supposed to be this all-powerful god who's hyper-benevolent and protects the world. He's a boy that was raised in Kansas. And he was brought up to be a good person with good morals from a very sweet couple that lived in a farm. And I feel like that message gets lost in Zack Snyder's vision of what the character is in his interpretation. On top of that, I don't like what he did with Batman and all. I can gripe about Zack Snyder for hours, but I'm not going to do that. We're talking about Superman First Steps. I'm very excited for it. I think it has the right amount of color that Superman is supposed to have. It's supposed to be bright, vibrant, and hopeful, and not the gray, dark, and dingy colors that we got with previous iterations in the last couple years. I am also very hopeful for the expanding universe that's going to be happening with DC. I trust James Gunn very much when it comes to adapting comic book characters. Like, he is a comic book fan through and through, and I'm very much looking forward to what him and Peter Safran, I think it is. Yes, James Gunn and Peter Safran, them being the current heads of DC's entertainment for movies and stuff. Movies and television. I trust their vision explicitly. I've trusted James Gunn since Guardians 1 came out back in, what, 2013, 2014? And then, Guardians 2, another fantastic banger. Guardians 3, literally the best one in the trilogy. A fantastic movie that had me hooked the whole time. I'm very much looking forward to what they have to present. And, I loved Peacemaker. I loved the Suicide Squad that James Gunn released back in, I want to say, 2021. All fantastic stuff. I will say the future of DC is still rocky. I'm absolutely gutted that we're not getting Batgirl. I was very much looking forward to that movie. Especially because I'm a massive fan of Brendan Fraser. He is such a good actor, and I was so upset to find out that he's just not going to get his day to shine. Which, it's not fair to him. He put so much work in, and then he got blacklisted from Hollywood because he was, he was assaulted in Hollywood by a producer, a higher up, and not in the physical fisticuffs kind of assault, the other kind of really bad assault that unfortunately happens a lot in Hollywood. He experienced that, and when he tried to speak up about it, he basically got thrown out by Hollywood. And then on top of that, his wife divorced him after he hurt his back, and he spent a long time taking care of his autistic son, and he's genuinely such a kind person, and I'm so happy that he's making his way back into the pop culture zeitgeist. I've always had a massive amount of respect for the man, and I'm really looking forward to what comes next. I'm just sad that Batgirl isn't going to happen, because he was going to play the villain in that. He was going to be Firefly. Anyways, I got off topic. Superman, it's going to be good. Guy Gardner is in it. I love, oh my god, I literally just dealt with this the other day. I forgot the man's name. What is his name? Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion, who's going to play Guy Gardner. I'm looking forward to that. I'm a big fan of, Nicholas Hoult, playing Lex Luthor. I was a little apprehensive at first because they keep getting, actors that I wouldn't necessarily put in the role of, Lex Luthor, at least in my mind. But from the trailers, I'm, genuinely looking forward to his performance. I've been blown away by what I've seen so far. So I'm looking forward to his interpretation there. And then, Crypto. We're getting live-action Crypto the Superdog. That hits me in the nostalgia right there, because growing up, I had one of my favorite cartoons, Crypto the Superdog, rough and away. Absolutely stellar that I'm getting to relive that nostalgia of just a really cool superhero dog. Come on, man. It's great. It's good stuff. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm very much excited for DC and what's coming next. I'm a massive comic book fan. I've been a fan of comic books basically my entire life. I started with everyone's favorite, Spider-Man, and I made my way through the comic book world from there, and I've experienced a lot of the storytelling that DC has to offer. I remember my neighbor across the street in one of the houses I grew up in, because I moved around a little bit here and there as a kid. One of my neighbors, her daughter, she had this big collection of comic books. It was mostly DC, but there was a good chunk of Marvel in there as well, which I'll get into that in a second. But I got this big stack of comics, and one of them, oh my god, what was it? I blanked completely. Never mind. Forget I was saying anything. But those comics were very important to me, because it gave me access to all these stories that I didn't know before. I got to learn about the Birds of Prey, which, that movie, while not the best DC offering that we've gotten in the last decade, I still think that Birds of Prey wasn't bad. I did quite enjoy it. And I also got to read about, like, the Blue Beetle a little bit. I got to read about the Flash and Superman and Batman. And then, going back to the Marvel side, I got to learn about what wound up becoming probably one of my favorite comic book characters, that is still, like, relatively new in the comics landscape, considering that, you know, Marvel's existed since the 1930s. Or actually, no, 1920s with Timely Comics. That's when Marvel first came out. Before they were Marvel Comics, they were Timely Comics. Anyways, tangents aside, I got to read about the Sentry for the first time, who is very important to the plot of the new Avengers. Sorry, Thunderbolts. That's the movie that's on the posters. I got to learn about him, and I was so happy to find out that they were finally adapting him, and they did such a good job with that movie. The Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers, Marvel is back, dude. Like, I lost faith in Marvel for so long, but this movie, Marvel's back. I don't care. All good, Dash. Thank you for hanging out for as long as you did. I always appreciate seeing you in my stream. I believe that is... Yeah, that's the final level for that. So I'm just gonna do this. I was correct. Alright, so Toaster's evolving. It's Toaster time. Take a sippy of my Coke. And there is Machoke. Okay. We are gonna do a little bit of light party shuffling, get Charge up to the front. Let me just see. Ooh, woof. This is gonna be a fun one. Alright, so I lied. I lied a little bit. We do a little bit of lying. We're actually gonna put Doduo up front. Because Tutu, our Doduo, is gonna evolve at level 31. By comparison, Charge, our Rhyhorn, is going to evolve at level 42. So we're going to focus fire on this one. Just because it is a much closer level disparity there. Thankfully, once we reach a certain level, Rhyhorn is pretty much just a beast. So we're going to be able to, you know, actually use it in battle for stuff. Doduo we might actually be able to use shortly as well. Especially because there's such a number of fighting types on this route that we can fight. We'll be able to have type advantage, which is always good. Because what? They learned Drill Peck at A level. I don't remember which one. Excuse me. But yeah. I am looking forward to the future of superhero cinema, basically, in general. You know, I've been into the superhero movies for a very, very long time. You know, I got started really young with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. My dad showed that to me when I was little. I don't remember what year. It was probably, like, right after it came out on home video. We might have rented it from, like, Blockbuster or something, which is an archaic sentence at this point. I know for a fact Yuji has absolutely zero memory of Blockbuster experiences, because you were very young when they stopped existing. So, I think it might have been like a Blockbuster VHS rental, possibly. And, you know, I watched Spider-Man, and then Eric Bana's Hulk, also from 2003. Was another one. And then I saw Spider-Man 2 with my dad in theaters, and I saw Spider-Man 3 with my dad in theaters. which, I mean, those are good memories for me. He also took me to see Rise of the Silver Surfer. I did not see the first Fantastic Four in theaters. I saw that later on DVD, I believe. And then, like, you know, obviously Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, all of those were coming out. When Iron Man came out in 2008, I was pretty much like, oh, like, I'm hooked. Like, I knew I liked superheroes because I had, you know, the Spider-Man movie or the Spider-Man movies, plural, as well as having the Spider-Man the Animated Series reruns from the 90s, because I watched a lot of, like, Kids WB or 4Kids or whatever the hell, and they would put that stuff on there for reruns. So I watched a lot of that stuff, too. And, you know, it's just the level of nostalgia. Oh, and X-Men 90, or the old X-Men cartoon, as well as X-Men Evolutions, that was on Nicktoons. That was another good show. Jeez Louise. Okay. We're actually going to go and use the Pokemon Center here. Alright, and we're at 101. Right, we only have 2 evolutions, so we need 103 Pokemon. So we are very much on track. We need 103 Pokemon, and then and only then we'll be able to fight Koga, gain access to Surf, and carry on forward. It is only 2:16, so we're making fairly decent time, I want to say. I don't care to learn Rage, no. Nice bike, hand it over quick. You know, saying the same thing over and over again after I have completely brutalized your team is really funny, dude. Koji, as in Koji Kondo? Famous composer? Yeah. Another thing, I've been getting back into Doom lately. Everyone's favorite rip and tear game. I love Doom. I do. And I will always give Doom the respect it absolutely deserves. You know, Doom is the progenitor of the first-person shooter genre. Doom walked so things like Call of Duty and Halo could sprint, okay? And while granted, Call of Duty has definitely taken the brisk speed walking routine as of late, and Halo is basically just dead on the floor. Without Doom, those franchises never would have existed the way they did. Genuinely speaking. And obviously, you know, like, oh, if someone didn't do Doom, someone else would. If id Software didn't do Doom, then, you know, someone else would have done Doom eventually. Sure, whatever. But you have to give credit where the credit is due. The bones of Doom, the skeletal structure of that franchise, is the exact reason why we have those games that we have now. And the fact that Doom is still able to stand not just amongst them, but in some instances above them, to degrees that we never would have expected. Doom is so relevant right now. Doom the Dark Ages just came out, and it's another time where I desperately wish I had a next-gen console. Because, like, I just have my Switch and my PS4 that sounds like a jet engine when I try to play any game that isn't, like, very, very simple. So I'm not going to be able to play Doom the Dark Ages for quite some time. I'm playing Doom 2016 on my Switch, which it runs perfectly fine. It's a completely acceptable version of the game. I would rather have a higher quality hardware if I could. Especially because eventually, once I'm going to beat Doom 2016 somewhere in the next couple of months, probably. Because I'm very flippant with the games that I play. I stick to a game for, like, a good couple days, and then I'll switch over to something else, and then I'll switch over to something else. Because, you know, that ADHD brain hits, dude. But Doom 2016, I am playing through that. I want to play Doom Eternal, because that's one that I've never played before. I played Doom 2016 when it came out, and that was it. And then eventually I'll get Doom the Dark Ages. But the story behind it is so fun. The fact that this human man, went on a rampage through hell because they killed his rabbit Daisy. And he became so feared that he is passed down in legend in hell as the single most terrifying thing that has ever existed in that dimension. And mind you, this rampage went on for what is essentially eons of time. The Doom Marine, before he became before he became Doom Slayer, the Doom Marine rampaged through hell, because time works differently in there, for eons. Killing and ripping and tearing and destroying these demons down to the very essence that they are. All because of a rabbit, dude. And then an ancient civilization called the Makers put him inside the divinity machine, supercharged him, and now not only does every demon he kill make him stronger, but on top of that, he is hyper-powered with divine energy to the point where he is literally just a living weapon who can rip demons apart with his bare hands. Like, it's insane. Doom is nuts. And again, all because of a rabbit. He did this for a rabbit named Daisy. This guy is a big dork who collects action figures and has a gaming PC. And his favorite thing ever was his pet rabbit. Like, goddamn, that's honestly aspirations right there. That's the kind of guy you aspire to be. Like, Doom is just not... Doom is nasty. On top of that, he's, like, surprisingly powerful for a guy whose primary weapons are guns. Because the Doomslayer is faster than light. The Doomslayer is, like, multiversal levels of power. Because of being charged by the divinity machine. And, like, he literally killed God. He killed the god of his world. Like, a couple times, actually. Davoth. Who, by the way, is basically just the hell iteration of himself. Or rather, the Doomslayer is the earth iteration of Davoth. They are basically mirror counterparts to each other. One exists because the other does. I don't know. Doom lore is so crazy, dude. And, like, his weapon, his number one weapon, beyond the BFG, because that's the most famous Doom weapon, his weapon, the Crucible Blade, which is a hyper-powered sword that can slice through demons like they're made of butter. And I don't mean, like a nice cold stick of butter. I'm talking, like, it's been sitting out in the sun, dude. He slices through it like that. When someone betrayed him and took that sword to try and fight him, they were still like, this isn't even enough. Why did I do that? Like, that sword wasn't enough to hurt him. He has faced death and walked out of it just okay. Like, what's it in? I think it's in Doom the Dark Ages. Because I've seen some stuff from it. His entire essence was dissolved. He went to hell, came back from hell, and was resurrected by some like demonic ritual. And this is Doom the Dark Ages is a prequel to Doom 2016. So this Doomslayer is weaker than the one from 2016. Who's weaker than the one from Eternal that killed Davoth. Like, Doom is nuts, man. I used to be in the power scaling community, so I know a lot about the power scaling stuff. My brother actually knows way more. My one brother, he's been in the chat a handful of times. Sandman Speaks. He was a power scaling YouTuber for a good couple of months, before he left the power scaling community for personal reasons, and, you know, life was lifing, unfortunately. It was right around the time our father passed away, and he really wanted to take a step back from that stuff. Because he wasn't as interested anymore. But he power scaled the Doomslayer, and the Doomslayer is one of those, like, people are like, oh, but can he beat Goku, though? Probably. Most likely the Doomslayer beats Goku. The same way that Kratos beats Goku. Like, it's... Ooh, it's a bit silly. Goku loses to a guy with a shotgun and anger issues. Yeah. I don't know where I've been going with this. I've just kind of been talking out my ass. And I apologize to the Goku statuette that is currently sitting to my direct right, smiling at me. Like, yes, Goku, someone beat your ass. I'm sure that's happy for you. Fun to think about. I can't believe I don't have any flying type moves on them. Katamari damashi. Na 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 na. That's another thing I would want to be able to play on stream at some point, are the Katamari games. I love Katamari so much. Oh my god. I remember first seeing it like years and years ago at this point. And not being able to play it because I didn't have a PS2. The closest I got was, oh boy, why did I do that? The closest I got was Katamari Forever on Xbox 360 through the demo that was available through the Xbox Live Store. I played that. And I would play it over and over and over again. It was just one single level. One level of Katamari. And that's all I had access to. But I would play it over and over and over again, just so I could get a taste of the Katamari experience. Oh! Oh, wait! 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 I gotta take a picture of that. Sorry, angel numbers. I love seeing angel numbers. Sorry. I know that takes things out of it for a second there. There's Tutu, leveling up to level 30, so one more level on Tutu, which is good. I could bite the bullet and just use a rare candy. Am I going to? No. Why? Because I'm stubborn. I'm gonna try attack. Yowza! Yeah, get that full experience yield. Come on, dog. Alright, we're not staying in here just because fighting type moves are neutral, and I hate neutral damage. Against me. Very specifically. Hey, big yawn. Yeah, I'm like dead tired after the last 2 days. We worked from... What, I got up at 6:30 in the morning yesterday and worked until just about 4 o'clock when we finally got back home, just about. Which that was just exhausting. I was never more sore in my life, and I used to do martial arts. And I thought that was the most sore I've ever been when I did, like, advancements exams. Nope. It's working in the pool under a beating sun while I'm getting a dangerously bad sunburn on my back. That was a rough day. Today, much easier. Even if the job necessarily, or more necessarily, should have been harder, it was less physically taxing. And you know what? We had 4 guys working on this liner. Also, Tutu, I might have to change your name to 3-3 at some point, but you're Tutu. Dodrio. We have to evolve one more Pokemon, and then we can fight Koga and make our way forward. I'm very excited. Unfortunately, that Pokemon is right here. Which, on the bright side, I think... Let me look at the RA set again. Let's see. Refresh the page. Yep, make sure all the achievements are registered correctly. Yeah, it's just getting Rhydon, or Rhyhorn to Rhydon that I have to do right now. So I have to get that, and then I'll get Tentacool, I'll get Magnemite, I'll get Seal, Coughing, Tangela. I believe Omanite, because I got the Dome Fossil. Aerodactyl. Zapdos, Ponyta, Magmar, Articuno, Moltres. Those handful of Pokemon that I just specifically named are going to get me the achievement Catch 'em All Post Haste, which is registering all 75 Pokemon you can catch, buy, trade, or receive as a gift, which does include the Fossil Resurrections, because those are gift mons. But yes, we just have to get Rhydon, and in the case of, let's see, Seal and Dugong are both catchable in the wild. I believe Weezing is also... No, it's not. Yeah. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I have exactly 3 Pokemon besides Rhydon into Rhyhorn into Rhydon that I have to actually evolve, and none of them are as bad. So this is going to be the one that we use our rare candies on, just so we can get a jump start. Because, you know, the faster we can get through this, the better, obviously. You know what might be a good idea, actually? Let's get Rhydon to level 30, I think. Or, Rhyhorn. Let's get Rhyhorn to level 30. And once we get Rhyhorn to level 30, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're actually going to go fight every gym trainer that I have directly accessible to me. And I'm going to fight as many of them as I can directly with Charge. Because that way I'll be able to gain as much direct experience, which is really important to the forward progress of this. The more direct experience, the faster we're getting to that level 42 cap, or level 42 threshold. And you know what? While I'm thinking about it, let me wrap up this fight real quick. Because I have a quick idea. We're going to go to the Pokemon Center. We're going to quick do a heal. And then we're going to do this. Okay. Toaster in the box. Tutu in the box. Pidgeot in the box. We're going to keep Raticate. We're going to keep Charge, and we are going to keep Sketty. Oh, my laundry is done again. I'm not getting up just yet, though. Now, why am I doing this exactly? Well, that is because we're going to come down here, and we're going to catch 3 Meowths with pickup. And actually, while I'm here, even if it's barely any experience, experience is still experience. And I need as much of it as I can get. Okay. Alright. So that's Pick Me Up. And then Pick Me Up is going to have a little brother, whose name is going to be Before You. And then, before you also has a twin brother. And his name is Go-Go. Now, obviously those names don't sound like much alone, but pick me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Just a silly pun. Me being a silly, goofy guy. We're going to have our 3 pickup mons because there is a chance that we get rare candies, and anytime we're getting a rare candy out of that, I am using it, alright? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going to check after every single battle that we do. Because the more rare candies, the better and the faster. Oh, you idiot. Yeah, I'll take Rock Blast. Get rid of Scary Face. Give me Rock Stab. Fuck you. You rat bastard. Okay, we're gonna... Antidote. We're gonna Hyper Potion. Nothing yet. What is this? I got a Snap at 229. Okay. Let's destroy Koji! Also, I don't know why, but my brain decided to make a reference in my head, to fuck you, Baltimore! Okay, well, that's my Coke done. Coca-Cola! Coca-Cola, Isuma! Excuse me. That was foul. I apologize for my nastiness there. I know folks don't appreciate getting burps in their ear, and I'm not going to do it on purpose. No idea why the accent decided to come into play there for some reason. It's not even my natural accent. I talk like this every day. Karate chop. Alright, come on, gang. I know we can get some items here. Is this neutral? Man. Nice. Big money, no whammies, bro. That's what I like to see. And then you're a fighting type guy. Oh, boy. Oh, excuse me, again. Well, shoot. We're gonna fight this here biker. Also, while I'm thinking about it, please feel free to send me any suggestions that you may have, or you might have for the garbage bin this Friday. I have yet to decide on anything. Like I mentioned, I've had quite the busy last couple of days. This weekend was rough. The days before that were pretty rough. And not necessarily rough, but, you know, we had a lot going on. It was my fiance's birthday, so we were doing that, and then I was doing the pools and stuff, which was very tough, and then everything that I mentioned, you know, shit was going on Friday that was keeping me, like, half distracted while I was streaming. So, you know, feel free to send me any suggestions. I am always willing to listen and hear them, because Lord knows you guys come up with some good trash for me to play. I'm looking for, like, more specifically, like, licensed games. So if you can think about, like, TV shows or movies that there could be games based on, preferably older style, anything, really anything. I will play, like, Atari stuff if someone recommends I play a garbage Atari game. I'm willing to play E.T., the extraterrestrial, for the Atari 2600. Or 2700, whatever the fuck it is. I'm willing to suffer. You know, if that's what people want me to do. I know it's a bad game. But that's the point of the garbage bin now, isn't it? Oh, you dick. No, I don't need to do that. You're a fucking rat. I'm just gonna... Okay. Oh, wasn't all the way over. Oopsie doops. Rock blast, rock blast. Rock show, rock show! Don't mind me making a really dumb reference to the Big Bang Theory. Let's see. What do you have before you? A Pechaberry. Not what we were looking for, but also not bad. I am never going to scoff at a Pechaberry. Free poison removal, always good. Also, this might just be me. I cannot see Mankey or read Mankey's name without immediately thinking of the Smosh sketch, where it was, this is before Anthony left Smosh, like when he first left Smosh, all the way back. But it was the Pokemon in real life stuff, and they're catching Pokemon, and he sees a Mankey, he's like, oh look, it's a monkey, and the Pokedex keeps correcting him, saying that it's Mankey. And then they're in the middle of fighting it, and he goes, alright, monkey, and the Pokedex goes, Mankey, and he goes, shut the fuck up! I don't know why that has stuck with me for over a decade at this point. Like, it's so ingrained in my head at this point. Also, we are 10 levels out from our Rhydon. Or our Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn? Rhydon? Rhyhorn. Right on. Right on, man. Alright, alright, alright. That's right. You gotta do that Matthew McConaughey voice. Bring it real down, real quiet, real soft, but still firm and strong. Matthew McConaughey's got that southern drawl to him without being southern. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Ignore me being absolutely insane. Jeez Louise, dude. Wheezing, I send you to the exploding machine to have you exploded. Please don't actually use explosion. Bonk. Oh, no. Ah! Nope. You have been denied your right to kill me, and thusly, you are now dead. It's always this one now. And a Rostberry. Okay. Not gonna turn my head away at that one. Or turn my nose up at that one, rather. Again, I'll happily take the berries. I have no problem getting berries, because they're so rare in Fire Red and Leaf Green without, like, wild berry trees that they have in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Which, like, I can't be the only one that misses, like, berry trees proper. Like, I get you can shake the trees in the wild area in Sword and Shield, and... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if there's anything similar or comparable in Scarlet and Violet Because I haven't, like, played it, and I don't even remember how long. That did so much damage. We're just, yep. Alright, these levels are going relatively quick since we can actually use it in battle. Which is always nice. And with more consistent leveling to deal with, I'm able to level up quicker, too. Hideo's got the level 33 Wheezing. We're just gonna Rock Blast it. Fucking poison! Fucking... Fucking... これは fucking だ. That's not even Japanese. I don't know. I said, this is fucking da. Just so people don't think I'm actually being, like, offensive, I do speak Japanese. Like, this is not... this is... At least, like, somewhat. So that's not me being like, oh... No. You know, like, I can say, like, this is my smartphone and things like that. これは私のスマホです. You know? I'm learning how to, like, talk about activities and stuff. I can ask for, like, where ATMs are. Which, by the way, it's exactly what you'd expect. ATM, elevators is elevator. It's such a funny language. I think that's my favorite part about Japanese is all the loan words that they use from English. Because, like, if you want to order a pizza, you don't have, like, some, like, crazy fancy way of pronouncing it. It's not like, oh. Hang on. Let me find a good sentence in Japanese that I could use as a reference point. It's like, mainichi o yokimasu. Like, that's, I swim every day. You want to say, like, do you have pizza? これはピザですか? Like, これはピザですか? Or no, is that, or no. Yeah, is this pizza? これはピザですか? Is this pizza? Like, これはケーキです. This is cake. And then you get shit like green tea, which is oishi. Right? Yeah, oichi. Or like water is mizu. Mizu this. Curry, kare. My favorite Japanese thing, and I learned this, not like I was actively learning this while I was doing my Japanese lessons, but I specifically learned this, from these YouTubers that I watch. It's a Japanese YouTube channel called Real Japan. It's a guy who, I don't know if he's, like, American or if he just is, like, incredibly fluent in English. And then his friend, who, while speaks English, is also very much like, this is a man who was born and raised in Japan, named Sugi. And they are explaining the silliness of Japanese and how some words are loan words and words that you'd expect to be a loan word aren't. And the explanation is like, what is basketball in Japanese? Basketball. What is volleyball in Japanese? Volleyball. What is baseball in Japanese? Yakyu. Stop scooting your ass on the carpet. And then it's like, okay, what is Baseball, or not baseball, what is soccer in Japanese? Saka. What is tennis in Japanese? Tennisu. What is table tennis in Japanese? Takyu. Like, it's very funny to realize, like, the certain sillinesses that come in the Japanese language. Because, like, it's not always what you'd expect. Because, like, sometimes, yeah, there are those, like, really, like, oh, rare candy. But you are also really close to leveling up. Right? Oh, no, you just leveled up. Alright. So then I can, in fact, use that rare candy in good conscience. There are certain words that are like, that's just a word that is English being spoken with a Japanese accent, you know? Like, you don't hear Basiketu Boru and think, you might not initially think, like, oh yeah, that's Japanese. Like, that just sounds like someone doing a stereotypical Japanese accent. When in fact, that's it. You do, in fact, call it Basiketu Boru. Like, it's not always going to be super simple, you know? And then at the same time, in that instance, it is super simple. Japanese is a fun language to learn. I'm having a great time with it. I've also decided that I think I want to learn Gaelic after I'm done learning Japanese. Just because it is a language that was almost completely eradicated by England when they came in and took over Ireland back in the early 1900s. There was basically like a mass deletion of Irish history after England took over. Like homes were burned down, books were destroyed, people were literally banned from spreading the words of their culture. So there's like Irish history and folklore that's been lost to time, or at least partially lost, because of the fact that England said, no, you guys aren't allowed to have this, you can only teach what we tell you to. That was messed up, and I hate that. And it makes me seethe knowing that, like, there's parts of my history that are just gone. You know? That's not cool. So I want to learn Gaelic, the original Irish tongue, so that way I can kind of do that level, or that part of my ancestry proud. Because I've always been very prideful of the fact that I'm Irish. You know, my family is a very Irish family. We didn't just like, oh yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day, let's go to a St. Patrick's Day parade. Like, no, like, we put on those uncomfortable ass sweaters, and we would have a St. Patrick's Day dinner, and we'd get together with our family, and we'd actually do the whole nine for it. You know, they'd make, like, corned beef and soda bread and stuff like that. And that was, like, my childhood growing up. Was a very, like Irish heritage proud childhood. Oh, wow. Well, that's a damn shame. We gotta go to the Pokemon Center. We gotta go heal our Pokemans. Oh, I didn't mean to stay in. I did not mean to do that. I decided decidedly that I would take care of this combat post-haste. Cherry Berry. Yo, let's go. I'm gonna fight you first, because you are the high level. Oh, screw you, dude. I hate when NPCs spam accuracy lowering. It's so obnoxious. Oh my god. Why? That's just obnoxious. I want to get the full experience yield. I really do. I mean, with every level comes, you know, more chances for that experience yield to be more consistent. You know, better stats, better times to hit. Oh, big yawn. It's time for a drink of water. And I stayed in again. Jeez Louise. You've got 3 fighting. Or no, you've got 3 of these guys. I wish that Rock Blast were more consistent. There's consistency. Stomp. 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 Nice. Alright. I'm going to get charged to level 37, and then I'm going to go switch my laundry over, because, like I said, I'm doing that. Oh, God, please tell me I turned the dryer on. I actually don't know if I turned the dryer on now. Shit. God damn it. I'm going to find out when I get down there. Okay. I will be back momentarily, even though there's no one in chat. I'm talking to myself. I'm still going to say it anyways. I will be right back. Okay. I have returned.
Laundry's fun.
Just plop you down. Excuse me. Okay. What do I want? I want to destroy you! Lo, death be upon thee. Rost. No, don't want to give. Come on. Cherryberry, okay. We're gonna go heal. Get our PP back up. What is this? Okay. Got an upload from Supersonic, another RA YouTuber. I think they're going live for something, but I didn't look at what that something was. I know it is the 1-year anniversary of their Sonic the Hedgehog 1 video. Or at least I think it was yesterday. Which, that's pretty cool. They're actually one of the first RA content creators I ever stumbled across. Which was super exciting to, like, see that, oh, like, there's people who do this stuff for content. Which, like, admittedly, I should have kind of picked up on that. Like, oh, like, people would probably want to use retro achievements to highlight different ways of playing games. And there's a lot you can get out of that kind of content. Stomp! Go for the rock blast. Come on. Come on. Yes! Very nice, Shiza-chan. What do you got, Go-Go? Another cherry berry. That's what we like to see. Ladies and gentlemen. Step on his head. Crush his soft spot. Horn drill. That's the... Oh, yeah, that's the Oko move. I'm not doing that. Stop it. Oh my god. I'm at -4, dude. -4, and I'm still stepping on your face. Dude. Yo. Come on. One more hit. One more. Just one. We're at -5. One more stop. Yes. I like it. Oh, and a new update from Legendary Plouf. That is a content creator whose focus is on the history of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, a mobile game that I used to play a lot back in the day. I have not played that game in like a good couple of months. I still like it. I know I still enjoy it. Especially because, like, it's just a really good, like, passive game that you can play when you have nothing else to do. Great for, like, background noise grinding, you know? Like, if you're watching a show and you're trying to catch up on episodes of a show, you can also be grinding Dokkan, because it's a very automated game, thankfully. And if you get good enough stuff, you can automate most of the stuff outside of the hard battles. But yes, I'm a big Dokkan fan. Have been for quite some time, and I still like it. But he has a whole series on his channel where he goes over the history of Dokkan over the years. And he's been, he started with, obviously, like, the very beginning of Dokkan. It's a multi-part series. That I don't remember what part he's up to now. I think he just got to the Int-type Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. That was a Dokkan Fest that came out. I also know he did a video on the... What's it called? The metal cooler, the AGL metal cooler that came out, because that was pretty much like the biggest revolutionary change in attack animations. The super attacks on AGL metal cooler were mind-blowingly cool when they dropped. Oh my god. And I got him off of a single summon, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Those two banners came out back-to-back, AGL metal cooler and Int Goku Black. I got both of them off of singles, just right there. Did one single and I was done. I didn't have to do those banners at all after that, which I was very appreciative of, because I didn't want to spend all my stones, and I don't believe I was spending money on the game at that time. However, I definitely spent a lot more money than I ever should have on Dokkan Battle. I wound up forming a bit of a gambling addiction because of those games. And that and Dragon Ball Legends. Those two games were basically like my downfall for a good period of time. I am still here, but as you can see, I am almost done. We only have 3 levels left before we have reached the very exciting Rai Dawn. The Dawn himself, or the Dawn herself. The Dawnette, if you will. Unfortunately, because we are using her directly in combat, it means we do have to go back and heal a little bit more frequently, but I feel like it's a fair trade-off for getting direct access to the experience points that these Pokemon yield, because it's making the grind significantly faster. I mean, we're almost 10 levels over most of the Pokemon we're fighting here. And I'm to the point where I can confidently fight even the fighting types without fear of getting KO'd. Because Stomp 2 hits most of the encounters, if not one-shots. Because I know Stomp one-shots some of the Mankeys. Now, I do need the moves to hit. Okay. We're just gonna do that. Not waste a Stomp on that sliver of HP. Let me just check these. I saw there was a chat message. Personberry. Hornberry. Let's go gambling. Things have been rough since you traded away that experience here. Honestly, like, I don't think it's been too bad. Like, it adds a little bit of extra time to the run itself just because I have to do the switch training. But, like, genuinely, I feel like it could be much worse. And I'm not too against it, especially because like the switch training hasn't been too hard, given that I've got really easy grind spots for it. Do we outspeed? We don't outspeed. I want Rock Blast to hit. I really want Rock Blast to hit. Oh no, that was almost perfect. Look at that, 2 levels. 2 levels left before we are done with every Pokemon before Koga. Which, let's see, time check. Oh, I might be thinking about it. Guys, I think I might be thinking about it. I might try and make Zapdos the end of this episode. Or I guess stream, rather. We might do it. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Quit your badgering. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out Beetle from Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Very specifically. Because if I wanted to do Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom Beetle, I'd be hitting that. You know? God, that was a grating noise. Okay. We're gonna go heal. Get our Pippa back up. Our Pippa. Our Pippi. It's been a thousand years, Sage Scribe. It's been 10,000 years. Since the Dark Ages. Once upon a time when the Wait, oh, I gotta pull out the Christopher Lee voice.
Once upon a time in the Dark Ages of mankind, there was the Sage Scribe.
Sir Christopher Lee. Fucking R.I.P. What an absolute legend that man was. There was I don't remember what movie he was doing. It might have been Lord of the Rings. It was a movie, though. And he was doing a movie, and they were doing a scene where someone gets stabbed in the back. And he was like,
That's not the sound that a man makes when he's stabbed in the back. I know, because I've stabbed a man in the back.
And it's like, whoa! Whoa! how did my username take existence? I'm gonna be honest, I just kind of pulled it out of my ass. There's no, like, proper origin to it. I just thought, what sounds like a good username? Yeah, that works. It is very much a product of sitting and thinking what would be a good username for a YouTube account, and this was what I ended up on. You know, it's not bad. I'm gonna stay in, as dangerous and stupid as it may be. Quit smogging at me, you fool, you damn buffoon, you utter baboon. You rinky-dink, honky-tonk, stinky little bitch. Stop spewing your gas at me. Okay. Quit looking at me with them big old eyes. Oh, God. I'm losing my sanity. Before you. What do you have? I can't in good conscience use that rare candy. I'm so close to leveling up just from grinding that I don't want to use the rare candy. I feel like it would be wasteful. I don't even know what pepper soup is. Ooh. It's a soup made with peppers. I don't know, man. How dare you? Oh, thank God. This feels nice. Oh, buddy. This is a good feeling right here. Right on. Alright. Well, Ride-on's done. We're just gonna... hang on. That's right, I do have to go back to the Safari Zone one more time. Oh! A random trainer I haven't fought yet? Oh, you're the guy with the Machamp. I knew there was a Machamp on this route. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, I completely forgot about this aspect of things. I have to come in here one more time. Well, we caught a neat arena. I never talked to this person. Let me just get rid of Water Pulse. Okay. Okay, and now the very important step. Gonna do a quick heal. Well, first things first. Be gone with you. You have no purpose to serve being in my box. Yep. Okay. You're in here. And we got Sketty out front. Wowee. There's something incredibly cathartic about just absolutely speed blitzing through these fights. I don't know why I did that. Damn, double intimidate. If only I had a special move. It's right here. Oh no. This way. And I can do that. I don't even have to fight that last trainer back there. But I fought him anyways. Whoops. And there's the Intimidate, which means we use Surf. Awesome. Hey, Koga! Lo, death be upon thee. Oh, someone's got a bit of special bulk. And then here's his Ace Wheezing, which can explode. But it didn't. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Look at that. Badge 3. We have 3 gym badges. Oh, I love this. Awesome, guys. We have 3 gym badges, with 103 Pokemon registered to the Pokedex. What a time, man. We are going to now come this way. Like this, and down here. Run up. I think that's the only downside about this whole thing is that I don't have access to fly, but that's alright. We want to go through Vermilion. Before we do... No, not there. We want to come up here. Yes. And we're going to look in our PC real quick. You have poison powder. It might have to be you. Yeah, because you do have hypnosis. Okay, and just for the sake of having that extra... No, we're not going to use the level on you. That's a bad idea. We're going to make our way over to the power plant. And that will be our final area of the day. It is 3:19. So I am going to extend the stream just a little bit for the sole purpose of catching Zapdos. Also, let me just take that. Take that. And we're going to switch Sketty back to the front because I know that by doing this, I open myself up to Tentacool. I'm not going to nickname it because I don't give enough of a shit. And we're not going to fight you because I don't have anything that needs to evolve off of you. This is Orba. Okay. And now we just need to get Magneton and Zapdos. I just wish this was the game with Electabuzz. As much as I like Magmar, everyone's favorite boober, I definitely prefer Electabuzz as a Pokemon. Thankfully, Magneton are encounterable in here, so I don't have to worry about evolving Magnemite, which is, you know, one less evolution that I actively have to take care of. It's just a matter of finding them, which shouldn't be too bad. Voltorb are here. Already got Voltorb and Electrode. Got Thunder. We are not going to use the Thunder TM, but I am going to go out of my way to buy the TM for Ice Beam. Because, I mean, that's just a really good move, and it basically stonewalls Lance's team. Which, you know, I need. I need that. There's Magneton. And this is going to be Orbuzz. Multiple. Plural. And the rough terrain habitat is done, too. How bikers eat their Sketty. The bikers eat their Sketty the same way we all do. By having it slammed in our face by a dragon. Right? That's how we do that, right? That's a thing. We get force-fed by dragons? Is that just me? Ah! Alright, I'm very curious how this is going to go. This is our first legendary of the Professor Oak Challenge. We're going to save right here for the resets. Yow. Wow. Oh, I don't want to hit you again. Oh, no. Excellent. Oh, first try. Let's fucking go. Holy shit. Wow, I was not expecting that to happen. Whoa, I was prepared to extend the stream past 3:30 because I thought I was going to have to reset over and over again. Whoa! That is awesome! Okay. Well, we have 107 Pokemon owned, including the legendary Articuno after one singular attempt of trying to catch it. Let's take a look and see what achievements we have accomplished today, shall we? Alright, let's see. Let me just look through everything. In total, we got 1, 2, 3. Just doing some math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 achievements today. We got 16 achievements, with some of the notable ones getting Zapdos, obviously, defeating Koga, which is worth 50 smackaroony points, and then we also got 2 of the Habitat achievements, which is really good. Awesome! Wow! Also getting messaged. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, that means that coming up, we have the few encounters from the Seafoam Islands, being Seal and well, the 2 encounters from the Seafoam Islands. We have to get Seal and Dugong. We have to evolve a Tentacool into Tentacruel. And then we need Coughing and Wheezing from the Cinnabar Mansion or the Pokemon Mansion, and then Tangela, as well as reviving the fossils. Which will probably be able to knock out really easy next week. There's actually only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have exactly 22 achievements left to accomplish. And some of them are going to unlock at the same time as each other. Let's see. There are 4 Habitat achievements left. There is the Urban Habitat for registering all 10 Urban Habitat Pokemon you can catch, buy, trade, or receive as a gift, which I think that's just Omanite, Omastar, and Aerodactyl for that one that I have to get left. Oh no, and Coughing and Wheezing. So I have to get those Pokemon for that. Then we also have the Sea Habitat. That's going to be Tentacruel, Seal, and Dugong. There is the Grassland Habitat, which I believe is probably going to be Tangela. And then maybe Ponyta and Rapidash. And then the Mountain Habitat, which I think might possibly be Moltres, Magmar, and potentially Articuno. Looking at this, I genuinely think next stream might be it. I think that might be... I think next week might be it. I think next week we are finishing the Professor Oak Challenge. In fact, we are. Next week will be the final Pokemon Leaf Green Professor Oak Challenge stream. I am not stopping stream until I get every single last one of those 22 achievements. I'm going to do it all in one final grand stream where we unlock everything and we finish the set once and for all, and I can tack that onto my achievement list for my mastery sets. I am so excited for that. Oh my god, next week is so exciting. Alright, so next Tuesday we will be back with more of the Professor Oak Challenge, where we are going to finish Pokemon Leaf Green's Professor Oak Challenge. I'm very excited at the core concept of that. Let me save my game real quick before I forget to do that. I'm saving the game. Okay, so yes, next week we will finish the Pokemon Leaf Green Professor Oak Challenge. Tomorrow we are returning with more Super Mario Mon. We're doing some Dex cleanup, we're doing side quests, we're getting everything else that we can. We might... I don't know. I think I'm going to just focus on Dex cleanup tomorrow, and then I'll do all of the fight stuff once I've completed the Pokedex. After that, we have Garbage Bin Friday coming up. Like I said, recommend any garbage games that you want to see. I myself am going to be looking to see if I can find any licensed games that might be fun to play. Not necessarily Master, but hey, Beat could always be good. And then, yeah, after next Tuesday, we are going to figure out what our next Tuesday slot game is going to be. Whether it's another Professor Oak Challenge, whether I'm just doing a Pokemon game as is, we'll see. I don't know. I'm very excited. We're going to find a brand new game to be our consistent Tuesday stream. Oh my god. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? Once again, I would just like to... Let me pop out a full screen. Once again, I want to thank everyone who comes out to my stream. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys fucking rock. And we will be back tomorrow with more Super Mario Mon. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.